Hello and welcome, my dear little chocolate muffins. It is I, Cleo of Games Are for Fight, and I'm not sure which camera to look at. I have the new webcam, but I'm also recording on my iPad just in case the new webcam messes up, as I'm kind of expecting it to. Anyhow, I hope you guys all had a lovely Memorial Day weekend and that you spared a couple of moments to think of our dear fallen soldiers. I got my hair dyed, as you can tell, my lovely friend Avara. I was going to do a video today about my first impressions of Dark Souls 2, but as you guys know, I listen to a lot of YouTube videos while I'm working, and lately I've been really interested in this whole thing going on about YouTube celebrity culture, which is a topic that has personal interest to me for a variety of reasons. As you guys have probably got tired of hearing me say, I have been making YouTube videos for many years now. I had an older channel, and then I have this channel, and I have some other channels that I don't update very often, but I've been around the block in a non-sexual way. But it's really interesting now because there's a lot of new videos coming out from all sorts of YouTubers from all walks of life and all levels of fame or lack thereof, talking about their own reactions. And one thing that that a lot of people are somehow shocked to find out is that, surprise, just because somebody's famous on YouTube doesn't mean that they magically know how to deal with it, that they are totally fine with walking into a room and having thousands of girls scream at them. The one video that kind of sparked this recent discussion of it was one by Sparkles, I forgot her whole name. I didn't write it down. Sparkles something. I don't know, I'll put it in the description. Wow, this video's off to a great start. But basically she talked about how she had a great time at Playlist Live. One of us did. And that as honored as she is and how happy and delighted she is that she's able to do it full time and stuff like that, it's still overwhelming for her to have to deal with all these screaming people. Like, she can't really wrap her head around that being a thing. And that's certainly, you know, she's not the only one to feel that way. There's plenty of other YouTubers and internet people in general, and even some, you know, real celebrities, aka TV and movie actors and directors and whatnot, that still are coming to grips with the fact that now they're a person that people scream at. Anyway, and it was interesting because a lot of, I actually read YouTube comments on most videos, especially videos that I think are rife or are more likely to have a lot of different comments attached to them. And it was very interesting reading the comments on Sparkle's videos because, of course, you had people saying, like, oh my god, why are you bitching about people's, like, screaming at you? You're, like, super famous and stuff. You bleep, bleep, bleep. Who all pretty much unanimously got slapped down by the loyal fans of Sparkles. There's that. There was, you know, you're awesome, Sparkles, rock on. There were people saying, you know, I never thought of it that way before. There were others saying, I completely agree. There was a wide variety of comments. And in addition to comments, there's also a lot of video responses. I mean, YouTube got rid of the actual video response format, but basically videos inspired by Sparkle's video. And some of them, as I said, some of them were by other big YouTubers, some were even bigger YouTubers, although subs and views and all that is really hyperbolic bullshit. And also there were some very interesting videos by non-famous people offering a variety of perspectives. There was one that really stuck out to me by Vicky the Pixie, who I'd never watched before. I'm getting messages. Oh, Lisa Foyle has finally replied to me. Funny timing. Anyway, if you don't know who she is, Google her. Anyway, I was watching a bunch of these videos and I started making a playlist of the ones that really stuck out to me the most. And by the way, if I'm lisping, it's because I had some egg drop soup earlier today and it burned the crap out of my tongue. I don't usually lisp. Not that there's anything wrong with lisping. Wow, this video's all over the place. I blame the heat. So if this topic interests you, I will link to the playlist. I'll probably put this video in that playlist, and then so after you finish watching this video, it'll play the next one, or you can skip ahead, whatever. Because there's people that have already addressed this subject and said very interesting things, and you should watch them. Anyway, I actually put together a little, like, bullet point thingy for myself for once. I'm already kind of totally off of it, but as far as Sprinkle's video goes, it's kind of eye-opening. It says a lot of stuff that I, having been obsessed with YouTube since, like, 2009-ish, I mean, I've been making videos since before then, but that's when I was really like, YouTube. It's pretty obvious to me, but I guess is pretty eye-opening to a lot of people who are just now coming into realization of what YouTube is. Basically, it's not, you know, just kids sitting in their bedroom talking in front of a camera anymore. It is, but that's not what people are coming to associate YouTube with. It's definitely become its own contender with TV and movies and books and comics and everything like that, which, you know, a lot of YouTube is reactions and integrations with popular media. I mean, it's this whole interspersal thing, and it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I love new YouTube. I also love old YouTube, and I kind of want to see a new website come along that has parts of old YouTube, because there's no way that new YouTube is ever going back to old YouTube. There's too many people here now. Huge rant. So Sprinkle said in her video that she had a great time at Playlist. And as you guys know, I did not have a great time at Playlist. I detailed why in some of my videos. I made vlogs throughout the whole week that I was there. I don't want to cover all of it again, but basically the biggest reason I didn't really enjoy Playlist is that it was very, very obviously schismed between famous YouTuber and everybody else. You were either a famous YouTuber, you had the special wristband or pass or whatever, you were invited to the parties, you had your own panels, you had police, well, not police, you had rent-a-cops escorting you from panel to panel, you had people screaming and following you, or you were not. You were all fangirls. Even if you were like me and you were there to actually learn about YouTube and you were there to meet other small channels and try to make connections and collaborate and stuff like that, there wasn't really anything in place for that. You were down here, and celebrities were up here. And that is the core problem or issue or tenement with this whole issue, is that where did this gap come from? What is making it worse? And, you know, what can we, both famous YouTubers and small people that aren't famous YouTubers and people that don't even make videos, that just like watching videos, what can we all do to maybe make the gap smaller? Maybe not make it go away completely, but at least make it smaller. Anyway, it made me realize too that as bad of an experience I had at Playlist, the fact that she had such a good time and she met so many people shows that we're all sort of in this fishbowl scenario where, you know, we can't really see or experience outside of what's happening to us, which is human nature anyway. But the environment of the con certainly didn't help that. I'm rambling. Anyway, never mind. And interestingly enough, I actually did meet Sparkles briefly during Playlist. I'd actually never seen any of her videos before. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there whose videos I'm sure I would love. I just don't have that much time, and there's a lot of YouTubers out there. But I saw her talking on one of the panels. I think it was like More Females on YouTube panel or something like that, which I only got the last 5 minutes of because of the whole debacle that was waiting in line to get into Playlist. But then I saw her afterward outside of the food trucks, and I kind of briefly was like, oh, I loved your panel, you know, like it was really smart, whatever. And she was nice. I mean, she was pleasant, she was nice, but I think it felt like there was this wariness to her, like she was kind of waiting for me to do something crazy. And maybe maybe I was perceiving that just because it was like in my head I knew that she was famous, and so I was kind of, you know, confirmation bias looking for that. But that was my impression, was that she was a little, as nice as she was kind of, you know, keeping her distance just in case I turned out to be a crazy person. You know, it's kind of sad that it's come to that, but at the same time I would much rather YouTubers be wary and not get attacked by fans than let their guard down and be hurt, as has happened to various YouTubers in the past. And this idea that you have to be wary of your fans and you have to kind of keep them at a distance, because otherwise your actual safety is in danger, as well as the fact that it's just overwhelming to have so many people want to talk to you and hug you, and you know, everybody wants to be your best friend. Again, I'm going to recommend the Becoming YouTube series by Ben Cook, because it interviews a lot of YouTubers that have some great things to say about this. I think it was the guy who started Nerd Fighters. I know, I don't remember anyone's name. I can never be a real YouTuber because I don't remember people's names. But anyway, where he makes a great point about, you know, we're all normal people, and when you already have social anxieties, as a lot of YouTubers do, I know, you know, Tessa and Shauna of Mika Kitty and Analu immediately pops to mind, who are two YouTubers that I love to death. When you have anxiety to begin with, being surrounded by people screaming at you does not help your anxiety, believe it or not. And the fact that so many YouTubers do have social anxiety and stuff like that, and yet they brave through it to meet fans and to, you know, try to engage with them as much as you can engage with roomfuls of screaming people, is a sign that they are a great person, that they take the responsibility of being a spokesperson, of being someone that other people look up to very seriously. And, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, or whatever. Some YouTubers, not so concerned with how they influence the mind of the younger generation. Some YouTubers, really good people. And I did want to say too that YouTube fame in particular is kind of a odd beast in that there is no real prerequisite to become YouTube famous aside from dumb luck. I mean, you can pay a company to try to make you viral. In fact, I was recently face painting for an attempt to make this educational video viral, and that's what the girl kept saying. She's like, we're gonna make it viral, and I had to bite my tongue because I wanted to say, sweetheart, you can't make a video go viral. You know, like having a British accent and having big hair and eating cinnamon or having really great content or whatever, those definitely can help you, but you can find plenty of channels that have all of these things and don't have any views, don't have any subscribers. And similarly, you can find plenty of YouTubers who don't have any of these things, and yet they have massive amounts of fans. Just goes to show you that you cannot guarantee that anything will go viral, and you can't guarantee that anything won't go viral, especially when you're dealing with videos of cats. And it's different in that, you know, with TV and movies and stuff like that, generally you have to go through some kind of hoops to get to that stage. You have to go to film school, or you have to sleep with a director, or you have to, you know, you have to do something to put your foot in the door. YouTube, you need some form of recording yourself, which is ubiquitous now. It's in our phones, it's webcams, it's everywhere. And an internet connection, which you can, you know, go to the library and use a computer for free, at least if you live in a place that has that. If you don't, I'm sorry. It must suck living in Toadsuck, Arizona. That's a real place. And also, you know, it's helpful and it's necessary that as YouTube evolves and becomes this crazy whatever it is, we really have to understand that it's not what it was before, and rather than spend all our time sitting in our rocking chairs yelling at the kids on the lawn and you know, being upset about all the changes, you can be upset, but being upset about the changes isn't going to make it old YouTube again. There's too many people, there's too many changes, there's too many corporations involved, there's too many hopes and dreams involved, there's too many, you know, copycats, there's already so many cat videos out there, but there's always room for more. There's always room for more. People are always chewing up content. People are always sharing videos, especially since all the social websites are integrated with YouTube now, or most of them are. And you know, it's a bottomless well of content creation, a sometimes putrid bottomless well. But embrace it. Embrace the changes. You know, have the strength to accept what you can't change and be happy about what you can now do that you couldn't do before. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, I also wanted to mention that I found this series recently that I watched. It's only 3 episodes long, but it's by a channel called Mikala. I almost said Merkaba. I was like, no, that's totally different. It's a 3-part series by this older guy named Mikala who does these very interesting, introspective videos on a wide variety of stuff, and they're actually very well put together, and it's literally just called YouTube Celebrity Culture. And he talks about not so much his personal reactions to stuff on YouTube, but stuff that you know, is very thought-provoking and is kind of obvious, but you don't necessarily think about it until someone else says it. So again, that will be in the playlist. I highly recommend you look at it and check out his other videos. And on one of his videos, there was a comment left by Chris Pirillo, who's an oldie tech reviewer who I've actually followed quite a bit. His channel name is Locker Gnome. And Chris Pirillo, who has over 1 million subs, said, "The grass isn't always greener on the other side, ... And after he left this comment, my brain gears got working, and I started thinking about how true this is, or the way I put it in my little notes here. This refers to, I presume, the illusion that everything is peachy keen once you're in the YouTube digerati. Suddenly you're invited to all the parties, you get paid to make videos, you get to work with lots of other channels you admire, and you get thousands, if not millions of people telling you daily how awesome you are. plus haters telling you to die, but you don't need to be famous for that. But as with all things, there certainly are negative sides to this sort of lifestyle. Obviously, I can't speak from personal experience, but I can say that the stress of constantly having to stay relevant, of keeping your implacable fans placated, and of staying enough within the lines of political correctness so that you don't get inundated with controversy like Nash Greer or PewDiePie without being bland. Not to mention the toil it must take to get so much daily hate mail. I mean, you know, they say just ignore the haters, but we're all human. It's not that easy. This subject reminded me of this TED conversation video that I saw ages ago that I will dig up and add to the playlist that really stuck with me. It's by a supermodel whose name escapes me, but it'll be in the video, who talks about why she became a model and how, you know, all little girls dream of being, well, not all little girls, but many little girls dream of being, you know, a supermodel, just like they dream of being a princess and, you know, airline stewardess or whatever. And how a lot of girls tell themselves, oh, I want to be a model because then everybody will want to take my picture and they'll tell me how beautiful I am. But in fact, being a model, you're actually way more sensitive to how you look. You have people telling you to your face you're not good enough, and you have to be prepared for it. If you're not, you know, you're going to form drug addictions, or you're going to commit suicide, or you're just going to, you know, have a mental breakdown and get out of there, because it's extremely competitive and vicious industry, and it's not healthy, and that's a whole other subject. Anyway, and that video really stuck out to me, and Chris Pirillo's comment reminded me of it, because, again, grass is always greener on the other side. And after reading that comment, I felt inspired to offer up my own reaction, which is one of my less terribly incoherent, rambly posts that I write when I'm in the middle of working. I said, I think in some ways seeking or achieving fame is a lot like seeking or achieving a relationship. If you're already lonely or neurotic or whatever, being in a relationship isn't going to make that magically go away, and can easily in fact make it worse. You have to really know what you're looking for and why before you go searching for it. And even then, you probably won't be as well prepared for it as you think you are, assuming it ever happens, which for many it does not, and that's a whole other issue. And yeah, when you think about it, it kind of is like finding or looking for a relationship. I mean, I'm only just now in a relationship for pretty much the first time in my entire life, and I'm still getting used to it, and I can still vividly remember, you know, being alone on the Tumblrs at 2 a.m. and reading all these other posts about people looking for a relationship, and the thing that people said to me that is true is, you know, you can't look for somebody else to fix you. You have to be okay with yourself first. Otherwise, you know, having another person there is not going to make it better for you, especially if they're going through similar problems. Same thing with making yourself into a YouTube celebrity. If you're already, you know, very easily offended, if you're very easily controlled by others' opinions of you, guess what? Having bajillions of people tell you to your, well, not to your face, but tell you to your inbox that, you know, you need to change this, you need to do this, you need to do this, it can be devastating. It can easily be devastating. I mean, I'm not famous at all, and even I still get these comments telling me do this, 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 and this, and I was just like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, wrapping this video up, it's funny to see how this idea of YouTube celebrity culture is coming to a head now, and the alacrity of which it's gathered up all these video responses and whatnot is a sign, I believe, that it's a topic that's already been on a lot of YouTubers' minds. I know that I've thought a lot about it. It takes all types to form a community, and YouTube is simultaneously brilliant and incredibly dangerous in how much power it gives the average person, from genius to psychopath, to gain an audience and spread their opinions to the world. Like the I guess all women hashtag. Not to be cliche, but as Betty's aunt said, with great power comes great responsibility. I already said that. Some of us are well aware and dedicated to meeting that responsibility. Some of us really aren't, and some of us would like to, but have no freaking idea where to start. And I think a good step to figuring that out is to talk about it in as respectful and open-minded way of doing so as possible, which sounds kind of hyperbolic, but it's true. We have to understand that we don't know what's going on, and we need to look at it from a variety of perspectives. We need to figure out what are good things that are happening and what are bad things, and what can we do about the bad things, and how can we encourage more of the good things. Anyway, this is a very interesting subject to me, as you can tell. I mean, I kind of touch on it in almost all my videos. and I'm sure I could go on about it for hours, but I think for now I'll shut up. If you want to know more about this and related topics, check out the playlist I keep mentioning, and also in the comments of this video, feel free to link to any other videos or articles or blogs or Tumblr posts or whatever about, you know, YouTube culture, YouTube celebrityhood in general, internet culture, that kind of thing. And I'll check it out and, you know, add it to the playlist if it's relevant. And especially if you yourself are the one that made the video, because, you know, like I said, let's all have nice little data going on about this thing, and let's all share our opinions about it and whatnot. I don't know what accent something got, but anyway, I'm probably going to go dunk some cold water on my face because my room is like 97 degrees, like always. As I mentioned before, I am going to be at VidCon next month, end of June, in Anaheim, and I really hope that this year I can make some really solid connections. I met some great people last year, but it was kind of hard to keep up contact with them, especially since some of the people I talked to were like way more famous and way more busy. So this year I'm going to aim really at finding people on my own level so we can collaborate, we can commiserate, we can become friends. I do want to be friends with y'all. And if you are going to be at VidCon, either because you actually want to collaborate or you just want to be like, hey, let's exchange business cards, then look for me. I should still have hair this color. I don't know if I'm going to be in my Morrigan cosplay because I don't have the hair for it anymore, but I think my hair is fairly noticeable enough that you should be able to figure out who I am amid the hordes. VidCon last year was very fun, very eye-opening, and had a lot of great panels, and I'm super excited for this year, and you know, making more friends and meeting more people. So anyway, and yep, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope I didn't bore you too much or come off as too, you know, a soapbox talking like I actually know things. Leave a comment, give me your thoughts, tell me what you think about YouTube celebrity culture. Is it an oxymoron? Is there no such thing as celebrityhood on the internet? Or are we finally officially an active, you know, part of the media world? Are we on the same level as TV and movies and whatnot? And, you know, anything else you feel like talking about. I read every comment and I respond to everyone except for the ones from John Feliciano because he's a hater. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm really hot. I'm gonna go now. Bye!